Thanks. Like a celebrity.
My name is Dong, also known as N54 Doe on social media, YouTube. And here's my 2007 BMW 335i drift car. 2007 BMW 335. I've had it since 2018, and it was like a street car, and then I dabbled in the whole like stance guy thing on air ride. I got like stars in the roof and everything, so like a show car, you know, but then it got so boring and I just wanted to drive. I just did the suspension, weld the diff, and just straight into drift. I've been in love ever since. I think it goes back to like my high school days, like drifting with my buddy in high school before we knew what drifting was. They come twin turbo. We put a big single on it, a little bit of fueling, like fuel pump. It's just all the supporting stuff, and haven't touched it since 2018. Everybody's in shock when they're like, how is that car still running? You know, like I touched and learned, and if you look closely, you can tell. Probably a million zip ties, you know, like, and I'm not the best mechanic, but I get it done. I went from the air suspension, I just got BC coilovers. I went through like 3 different angle kits. I was trying to save money. There's a saying, buy once, cry once. I bought the cheap stuff, it broke, and then I ended up getting Wise Fab and haven't touched it ever since. And the turning radius is like, oh yeah, it's wider. So with the suspension, like poking it out, I actually won a raffle for the wide body kit. We just riveted it on, my buddy wrapped it, and it looks good from afar. Bucket seats, you know, when you're drifting, you're sliding around. I got dual calipers in the rear, so for my hydro handbrake. Other than that, just maintenance, upgraded radiator, and just some cooling mods. I added an oil cooler. It does run hot, like today. We had a little bit of issues, but my buddy Fernando was able to swap out a hose, and we got it up and running. When we're talking about back wheels, the 2 on the car and then 4 extra. Yeah, and I'll usually go through like VQs. I'll usually go through like 2 set of tires. Sears stay on for about the whole year. That's if I'm good. It's so easy to just, the warning light that your car is getting hot, but you know, your wife's hyping you up or your friend or whatever, and you're like, oh, I'm just gonna keep going, you know? So it's hard, and the same thing with tires. If I cool down every other lap, they last forever, but the second I keep going, it just burns through them, so. What I wanna do? I wanna drive. I'm tired of watching this autocross. No, I think it's good the way it is. Everything I want is just like tires to drive more. That tire sponsor. Somebody, anybody. Drift E90 is the chassis, right? Basically 2007 to 2011 era. And when I was getting into it, I was doing all this research because it was rear-wheel drive. It made a lot of power, but no one drifted it. Like everyone gets a Nissan 240, which is overpriced, or an old E36 or E46. And I was like, I already have the car. Let me just make it a drift car. So as I was doing the research, I was messaging, I don't know, like 5 or 6 different people who did it across the country. They would ask me questions, I would ask them questions. And it got so annoying, like trying to Instagram message them and talk to this guy and talk to this guy. And I was like, yo, I'm gonna start a Facebook group. And then 6 months ago, and then next thing you know, we're at about 2,000 members. Pro FD drivers, you know, everyone's just sharing knowledge, like a forum. So I was like, I'm gonna make t-shirts for my family and friends. And it's been gaining traction. And I think we're gonna see more of these cars drifting than 240, you know? I can go get a door at the junkyard for 30 bucks. Look up the price of a Nissan 240 door. It's like insane. It looks nice and fancy, but it's a 16-year-old car. Thanks for tuning in to this impromptu trackside interview. Shout out to my buddy Brandon with this fancy camera equipment. He's killing it right now, but if you're not drifting, you're doing something wrong. Get to the track, takeovers are whack, and thanks for watching. Peace.